The Late Night Legends podcast is meant for an adult audience only. It may contain sexually oriented content. Content may not be suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. Listener discretion is advised. Watch out.
It's rising. The ocean we call life is deep. Can we parse truth from lies? Have to cross the waves or sink. While dying down through memories, won't heed the siren's call. Just take a breath, hold to the light so light won't drown us all. Take my hand in this stormy sea. We fall into the divide. Watch it reach as you swim with me. We're swept under the tide.
All right, welcome everyone to the Late Night Legends internet radio show and podcast. Very excited to be back. I was off for a week and then we were all off last week to celebrate the 4th. So technically we were celebrating the 3rd, but you know, whatever, it was for the 4th. So I'm super excited to be back, super excited to see you guys. With me tonight is Frank.
Hi.
Tressa.
Hello.
And James.
Gonna do some finger guns.
And Ashley is feeling a little bit sick tonight, so we wish her well and hope that she feels better. And Kara is off tonight.
She has a well-deserved day off today. Kara
She
has
does
been doing
well
so much.
She also not working today. Like, was today like a total day off for her? Because I feel like that doesn't happen.
You know what? I did talk to her a little bit more than when she's at work, so I believe that she was off work as well.
Good for
And
her.
it's very, very deserved. She had an incredibly busy weekend.
Yeah.
Amazing. But I want to hear about what you guys are up to first. Who wants to go?
All right, I'll go. Everybody, go to onfiretonight.com every Thursday at 1 o'clock Central. You can catch us live. We're live all week, but that specifically, you'll always find us. And yeah, okay, thanks. Bye.
Fantastic. Frank?
The only thing that I wanted to mention is if you're going to be in the Chicago area on July 22nd, we're going to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo at McCormick Place. So catch us there as a team. Come by and say hi and win yourself a Honey Ham gift card. That's all I got.
Which you only have to recognize one of us and then admit that you recognized one of us. Is 1,000% yours.
1,000% yours. $10.
1,000%.
Store credit. Whatever you
You
want.
You don't even need to know our names, just that you recognize us. That's
Yeah.
it.
And that you're willing to admit it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Really? That's the crux there, Jenny. You got that. That was spot on.
You're welcome, sir. James, what do you got going on?
I actually finally have a show that is spooky related, which is nice. We're doing a reading of a new play at the end of the month in the East Village in New York City called The Nameless Thing Between Us. And it is two sort of laymen trying to conjure a demon to help them resurrect their loved ones who have passed. But as with a demon, things are never that easy.
One, I like that premise. Two, I liked the strange change in accent in your voice at the beginning of that as well.
That is 4 years of voice and speech training.
Oh, wow.
I'm so excited.
I have a college degree in pretend, people here.
I don't know if it's.
I got straight A's in my accents and dialects class. I have a binder.
That's impressive. I got to tell you, that's awesome.
Well deserved too. Now I see. Obviously, that is the work of an A student.
It's the most useless skill I have.
So this weekend was super fun. I don't know if I can say super fun more times or super excited. I'm just going to put that in front of everything tonight. But Kara and I went to the Pop-Up Paracon, hosted by and presented by Chris Fleming, where Dave Schrader was the host of the panel that our own Kara was on.
Kara's best friend, David Schrader, that is.
Best friend.
Yes, best friend, David Schrader. And it was so much fun. Everybody was really, really great. There was some good guests on there. We ran into a few people who have already been on the show and then hopefully will be on the show. So we will be posting pictures and links back to their episodes, and just a really good time. So definitely follow her on Facebook, follow any of those guys on Facebook, and they're doing hunts and tours and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of paranormal conferences, like all summer into fall. So
also
check that out. They're very entertaining.
Kara has a Threads account, so you can follow her, but I don't know what it is.
I think I follow her. I think I got a Threads account as well.
Oh, okay.
I did too.
Somebody claim late.
Why is nobody following me? Come on, give me your shit.
I literally so Kara found me on Instagram so she could and so it's all the same. It's because is Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm following you too, because I follow you on Instagram anyway, and I just hit the follow all button.
Yeah.
She is. I don't know. Yes, I will plug her. I believe, and it's hard to tell. It's either Kara 1_ Phillip or Kara 2_ Phillip.
Follow them
I think
both.
it's 1 because that's her Instagram.
Okay, it's that.
Yeah. So, but it was really, really fun, you guys. There was an archbishop there who was really cool. She was wearing like a little pride pin. Her church is like all about inclusivity, and she blesses a lot of the ghost hunters in the area. And she's got a book that I'm excited to read that's all about like the paranormal and the Bible and just cool historical stuff.
That's right. That is my jam. That sounds great.
That's cool.
I will absolutely forward you the name of it.
Yes, do please.
See, I'm down for the religious folks who do the spooky stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. And don't condemn all mental illnesses into demons.
Yeah. And you know what? She was so sweet. She did touch on that in one of her panel questions. Was
like how you reconcile that to.
Did you ask the question?
I did not. I did not. But she did touch on it, like about how, hey guys, like these things, not always demons. Like maybe go get some therapy. And
but sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
But mostly it isn't.
I'm here
just like with anything.
Just like with anything. But it very, very, very fun. So lots of really neat people at that podcast, not the podcast, the conference. It was great. Sure. And we had fun. Anyway.
Nice. Well, thank you, Dave Schrader and Chris Fleming, for doing a good Paracon.
It was great.
Also,
and it was in Woodstock, which is really cute.
Also, thank you to Lord Cronus for saying hi in the chat. We asked him what he has going on, and he said, "Not my beard." So he noticed I'm a little baby face tonight.
Yeah, but that's okay because it's making the eyebrows pop.
Oh yeah.
Are those new glasses?
No, I've had these for. I usually don't wear them to podcast though.
Oh, okay.
Did you maybe do something different with your eyebrows, because they seem very?
They're very like prominent and well groomed. She did a good job.
I will deliver those compliments personally. In fact, let me go ahead and mute myself so I can clickety clack out of my keyboard. I'll let her know right now.
Yeah. Mute that, man. Yeah. Also want to mention that we met a couple of the people from the show Expedition Entity.
Not Expedition Unknown.
No, no, that's Josh Gates.
I know. Oh, I
Guess
know.
what? He's coming to Aurora. Yeah. And I'm going to see him. Anyway. But very cool people, so definitely want to plug that too a little bit. And are you done clickety-clacketing?
I'm done. I am done.
Cool.
Facebook is borderline unresponsive, so I don't know if she'll get this message. But
Next 2024, right?
2024, sir.
Great. Plenty of time. I can plan that. The kids will be old enough that I can leave them with a grandparent for a weekend.
Okay.
Nice. Nicely done.
I think that
That's
might be
great.
the first time that we're going to be together, actually, all of us. I think all of the legends are coming out, and I might make it a little saucy and invite some old people that were on the podcast. Maybe we'll talk about that off air.
Can we have like a rumble, like the new versus the old, just like across the room?
I was gonna do like the Anchorman, like the fight scene amongst the news teams.
Yes.
Like it's the old podcast.
I
team
get the
versus
trident.
Ah,
Brick, where did you get a hand grenade?
Love it. Speaking of tridents,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like really excited about this, by the way.
I'm so excited about this one. I really
also A+ on that segue, girl.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
well done.
She's a professional, guys.
I'll take it. So we're going to be talking about mermaids and to a lesser degree sirens, because what I have found, and I noticed after I started reading more, is that I do it a lot myself, but I sort of transpose mermaids with sirens,
Mhm.
right? And I get a little confused, and I kind of forget the fact that sirens are actually more half women, half bird, who kind of hang out on the shore or hang out on islands. I think it's because I always think of birds and then harpies, but you know.
I
such-
feel like
They
in
all kind of-
modern culture, it just is, it's fuzzy, and people forget
Yeah.
that they're half birds. I totally forgot
yeah,
until you said that again.
I'm learning
Yeah,
right now for the first time.
Firmly was just like sirens are a type of mermaid.
Right.
and they don't actually go in the water. They're like along the
On the
coastline,
coast.
and on islands, and even in the Odyssey, they're mentioned, and it's 1,000%. There's like an island of sirens.
Mhm.
But yeah, I always kind of transpose them with mermaids, and then forget the fact that there's other things other than the harpy with wings. Oh my life. Oh my life. And
They're all part of that seafaring life.
It is.
It's all in that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot. But so I have been around oceans for my whole life, right? Started to go to Central America when I was really young. So spent a lot of time at a big ocean and in the ocean. Started scuba diving when I was younger, got certified when I was 28, I believe. I've been snorkeling since I was like 6 or 7, maybe.
Wow, that's great.
That's really awesome.
Lots and lots and lots of time in the ocean, and I'm endlessly fascinated because there's so much stuff that we don't know. And the creatures down there are insane. And some of them make sense from an evolutionary standpoint, and some of them just don't. So the idea, and of course that idea is really appealing to me. Hey, I can go swim in the ocean and I don't have to ever get out. So I wanted to be a mermaid, and you see all of the, cartoons and hear all the stories and all of those things. My other part of it was The Little Mermaid. I read originally as the Hans Christian Andersen story.
Dark.
And saw that read that before I saw The Little Mermaid. So the idea was always very romantic, but also very disturbing. Spoiler alert, she doesn't make it.
What?
She turns into a gas bubble.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Well-
yeah, she did. She big
So-
did.
To tie theater into this for a quick second, there is an incredible musical that is based on like a Haitian version of the same story. It's like a Haitian retelling of it called Once on This Island, and I will say it is slightly problematic in that it is a story about Haitian Caribbean life written by white people. So take that with a grain of salt. But it is The Little Mermaid told through the lens of like the Haitian DR side. So it's like a little bit more of like a colorism story necessarily than like two separate worlds. But it is a beautiful musical. And it does have the same sort of ending, but instead of turning into a gas bubble, she turns into a tree.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's unusual.
but it's because the prince has another person who he's betrothed to, and like
Mm-hmm. Always the prince, man.
always the prince.
Screwing everything up.
Fucking
Prince
Jeni-
gets to live.
Can you do like a very quick, vague overview of the actual Hans Christian Andersen
yes.
story for
Oh, yeah.
our dumbass listeners who aren't totally familiar, like all of us very much are?
So roughly, it's the same rough story as The Little Mermaid, right? She falls in love with a prince, sort of on sight, decides that she has to introduce herself to this individual. She finds a sea witch, and the sea witch offers her a deal: make the prince fall in love with you within a certain period of time, and then proceeds to get in her way at every single moment. And instead of like just her voice kind of being on the line, it's actually her life. So she ends up losing the prince's attention, and he falls in love with someone else and is engaged to be married to somebody else. And she goes back she throws herself back into the ocean because she cannot stand to live without him anymore. And
Turns into like sea
expires.
foam.
yeah.
Like her body
she-
disintegrates.
Yeah.
We got Nick Hansen saying #1 dumbass listener here.
So it's darker. It's a little. She doesn't win in the end.
But then the prince marries the sea foam, right?
Yes, he does. Absolutely. He collects it into a tiny bowl, and they live happily forever.
Yes, Tressa.
So moving on. Hans Christian Andersen in Denmark. He's Danish. That's Denmark. So I guess that it's very prevalent to have mermaid sightings, and that's where he got this idea for the original story, because it was very prevalent in the culture. Now, the earliest mermaid legends appeared in Syria around 1000 BC. There was a goddess, a Targadas, which I've done a phenomenal. That's exactly how you pronounce it. In no way did I get that wrong. Anyway, she dove into a lake to turn into a fish.
Seems about right.
She just wanted to be a fish.
Hey.
And the gods were like, "You're too pretty to be a fish, so we're going to keep you with the face and the boobies and then just give you a fish tail." So that's how that started to begin with. Whereas sirens also originate in myth, obviously in Greek myth, and there were a couple of different retellings of that, where in one of them they were supposed to be the guardians of Persephone, I believe, and when they failed to guard her, I think it was Persephone, but anyway, the one that gets dragged down to Hades.
Yeah,
Right.
Persephone.
Yeah. So they were supposed to be the minders of her, and they kind of screwed up. So they got turned into these horrible half woman, half bird creatures that called men to their death from the rocky shores of something. Yeah.
That's how I want to go.
I like how in Greece, like the punishment is always, we're going to turn you into something that then kills a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And women were usually turned into something absolutely disgusting and terrifying that would just kill men. Just
Well, and then men were just tortured straight out for eternity.
Yeah.
Like Let's peck your liver and have it heal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Push this rock up the hill.
Push this rock up perpetually.
Every day.
Which, I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, I'd kind of rather go the hideous monster who kills things.
Kinda, yeah.
You know what?
Get a little
Yeah, we
autonomy
win.
there.
All your hair turns into snakes, and by
Fuck
the way,
yeah, it does.
Yeah, it
turn
does.
men into
Hard
stone.
pass on that one.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm into it.
Mm-mm.
So then mermaid sightings continue through the ages. 2nd century Gaul, mermaid corpses were found washed up on the beach to the extent that the governor of Gaul wrote a letter to the emperor about it. These next two are very interesting because I had no idea. So in the 18th century, we've all heard of Blackbeard, right?
Yeah.
The pirate, one of the most infamous pirates of all time. He used to write about him in his logbook, and there were certain areas that he would not sail because it was supposedly mermaid infested waters.
Oh wow.
That's like the craziest thing to me is all of the old like captain's logs, like
Yeah.
Columbus, Blackbeard, like it's
Yeah.
It's frequent. It's like more frequent than you'd think.
I know. And James, you just said my next one, which was I had no idea about. It was Columbus. Columbus reported seeing mermaids.
He saw so much shit.
And when he saw them, he said, they're not as pretty as they're painted.
Oh damn.
Oh damn!
Isn't there an
Burn.
extensive log of them having sex with them as well?
Yeah, they had sex with a lot of things.
Is
No, for sure.
Columbus.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure that was something that
Because they're men and it's Columbus, so he had to claim everything as his own and put his dick in it. Yes, of course he did. Are you kidding me?
Listen, I try not to, like, as an Italian American, I try not to think of the negatives of Columbus.
I'm sorry, but he
Good
sucks.
Like, there's
Lord,
like
dude.
no positive to Columbus.
There's no
No.
positive. No, there's not.
No.
There's not.
Columbus
I'm
wasn't
very
on-
firmly in like Camp Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes.
But, like,
Anyway, as
fuck
we're
the
moving
mermaids?
on. Yes, as we're moving, get over it, James. We're moving on.
Sorry, it's just this is the first I'm hearing this.
And this is going to hurt your heart a little bit more too, because most historians think that he was actually talking about the predecessor of the manatee.
That is correct.
In Duodong, which is a sea cow, and it looks very similar, but they do tend to stand kind of upright on their fins.
Wait a second.
and-
Columbus was fucking so many manatees, James.
A lot of sea cows,
Love
James.
manatees. I did a project about manatees when I was in like 5th grade.
Well,
'Cause you're
you should-
Italian.
You should feel better knowing.
No, because I
that
like
Columbus
manatees.
loved
Because
them.
you're Italian.
He loved them a lot.
I don't like this. I feel in danger right now. I don't feel
And then we're
comfortable.
going to move on.
James
We're
needs
going to
an
move
adult.
on, James. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Aw.
We're moving along. We're heading into 1943 in the Kai Islands. Japanese soldiers of World War II saw mini mermaids or manfish sightings.
Manfish?
Claimed to be fairly tall, having spikes on the spine, shoulders, and a neck. They were also said to have light pink skin and a mouth like a carp. And instead of a single tail, they had like 4 almost like frog-like appendages, like stronger legs with fins and arms with webbed fingers, things like that. And
That's
a lot of them saw it. A lot of soldiers saw it, and a lot of soldiers reported back on it.
I always appreciate a good sighting that feels like there's a bit of science behind it.
Well, just wait, because we're not through the sightings.
I love
Wait.
This is great.
Can
I'm
we
loving
check on
this.
Frank? I think that Frank is about to have an
I'm
aneurysm.
blue screening over here. I can't even believe half of the stuff that I'm hearing about, but I'm here for it. I'm here.
I
to
love
learn.
this.
It's coming at you, Frank. Just
I'm
buckle
learning
in.
more in this so far 28 minutes than I did the entire 4 years of my high school science experience.
And high school health class,
Yes.
because I'm already now like,
Yeah, we're moving past this. James, Frank, put it away. Tressa, I can see, has already moved past it. She's with me. All right, let's go. Let's move on. 1967, Maine Island. Tourists on a ferry saw a mermaid claim that she had blonde hair and was eating a raw salmon.
I picture
Get it, girl.
Yeah,
I picture this being like,
It's like
she's
Gollum.
beautiful, and then just
just munching away on. Yep. Mhm.
Like a corn on the cob.
Oh my god.
picking the bones out one by one,
But
like a lady.
Again, this is one of those things where it was seen by multiple people,
Love it.
which takes us to 1998. Kauai. Sorry.
Hawaii, like
I do
Kawii.
not. Yes. I don't understand what I'm doing in between reading and then actually saying the words. Something's getting lost.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm having a stroke because I don't smell toast, but a boat of 10 people claimed to see the same mermaid. There was a ocean videographer on board, right? So he jumps in because he's got his equipment apparently, and he wants to get a picture of this thing because everybody's seen it. He was he saw what looked like a woman just about 10 feet away swimming with a pod of dolphins and keeping up with their fast pace. She suddenly jumped into the air, revealing the obvious mermaid style tail. And so he got into the water, and he said that about an hour later, she brushed up against him while swimming away. He quickly snapped images and was able to capture her. In one photo, she swam away above them. These images were submitted to 3 high-profile photography labs, which analyzed them and and said that the images were real and hadn't been tampered with. Now, I could not find names of these photography labs. I'm sure that it was not disclosed, being that they didn't want to be the ones to authenticate mermaid photos. The photo, I have to say, it's very similar. It does look like the torso of a woman, and it's just blurry.
And this is the one in Kauai.
And this is this is one in Kauai.
Why does this ocean photo guy not have a clear photo? What's that about?
Well, I
he's
mean,
not a very good ocean photo guy. I should have looked up his work, honestly, and I didn't. Now I'm kind of kicking myself because that would have been good.
I
know,
googled
they're all
Hawaii
like that.
mermaid and just got a bunch of
All his photos are just blurry fish.
Yeah.
I want to see some blurry
the
fish.
Jeff Liker. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Leave me alone, Google. I didn't ask you.
Okay. James is having a meltdown.
James, you found the real photo. The government's after you.
God.
You're on a list.
All right. 2009, here at Hyam Beach, multiple sightings of a young mermaid. NBC actually claimed to get footage of the mermaid with a 1 million reward still available about getting more footage in. All the footage by both the crew and the people watching transferred to the Center for Coastal Ocean Research. The center's director examined the evidence and said, though it was impossible to clearly state that the figure in the footage is a mermaid, it still remained a high possibility. I don't know. Does it? Not quite sure on that one. So 2012, there is a dam in Zimbabwe called aptly named the Zimbabwe Dam. The dam was blocked, and they oftentimes send divers down to fix things, which is a very high-paying job, by the way. If you ever managed to get it, I may or may not have looked into careers in diving, but yeah, dangerous, but really, really well paid.
Yeah.
So dam workers were trying to install a water pump, and they couldn't do it because the pumps kept getting blocked. Divers were hired to see what was going on. After going down to check them out, the local divers and workers swore they would never return again because they had seen a mermaid. The myth of a mermaid is prevalent in some areas in Africa, used primarily as a warning to keep children away from, the shores and the body of water, as one would want to do in Africa with large predators roaming around. But so no one believed them. The company didn't believe them, and they kept sending other divers to go, and they kept reporting seeing the same thing and kept quitting, and the dam is still not finished.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's creepy.
Yeah.
There have been numerous sightings. There was a whole thing on Discovery about it. Numerous sightings in Alaska. And one of the the reasons given for this is that it's actually an Inuit folktale of a mermaid or a mer creature, which again is sort of seen as bipedal, right? So like having just flippered legs instead of just one tail. I'm not going to try to pronounce what the name of the god was, because I will absolutely butcher it, especially right now since I butchered everything else. So every so often they get sightings in and around areas in Alaska. Kodiak Island, a husband and wife both saw something. The husband went swimming. He felt a hand around his ankle and felt himself being pulled down. And the wife saw him thrashing, started running towards him. She was up on shore, started running towards him and saw a green hand and a bit of tail coming up out of the water.
Wow.
He managed to thrash and kick and free his way out of there.
This is why I don't swim in things that aren't like pools.
Thank you. Disgusting. No, thank you. I don't care if that's a turtle. Do not touch me. No.
If I can't see the bottom.
No. If I can, and there are animals in there. No.
You're missing out, you guys. It's amazing.
No.
It is so
No,
good.
but that's what I'll do. I'll do like nice, I went to Hawaii, went into that water because you can see the bottom.
You're swimming in a giant toilet, a giant animal toilet. No, thank you.
But a bird could poop
Okay.
on you walking down the street.
This is
And it has. And
and I don't like it then either.
What the fuck? I don't even know.
Yeah. So, there's been a couple of sightings there. I know that one of the cryptid shows that looks at mysteries and people missing in Alaska started to sort of propose this theory that perhaps it was some sort of mer creature that followed like the migration patterns of the salmon. I found it weird that salmon kept coming up, but I don't know. That's just because it's a large fish that people just tend to recognize easily.
it's pink, like
People like
women.
salmon. I had it for lunch.
I don't know.
Thank you, James.
I don't like fish very much. I know I need to eat it because I know it's good for you.
I do not care for it.
I don't care for it very much. It needs a lot of sauce. I need to drizzle it in teriyaki.
I don't know what kind of fish you guys are eating, but fish is delightful.
I like fish, but I don't like salmon.
No, I don't like salmon either.
Yeah.
Salmon's like salmon and cod. I can do that.
Cod is good.
I can do squid. I love oh my god.
Nope,
I
I
was
will not
in-
eat squid and I will not eat octopus.
I could do squid, but I don't do octopus somehow.
I don't do octopus.
Oh, I'll do both.
Because
I don't.
they
I'm
are
not discerning.
aliens. If you would read
Thank
my
you.
blog,
Thank you.
you'll find out that they are alien life forms.
Yes.
They're
I can eat
delicious.
deep fried fish sticks. That's about the extent of my fish.
I
That
There's
is
also-
nothing
it.
wrong
I
with
also
deep
do
fried fish
enjoy my
sticks.
fish breaded and fried to the point where they don't have an identity that resembles
Yes.
a fish.
Other than the bread. Yeah.
Delicious.
Like
That's
the filet
fine.
fish from
See,
Put
McDonald's.
some cilantro and mayo on that. You got a delicious taco.
Oh, I can't do
You know who
cilantro. I'm one of those
doesn't?
people.
No, the soapy people.
Yep.
I'm a
Nope.
soapy
We're going
person.
back to it. You know who doesn't enjoy their fish fried is mermaids. So we're gonna go back to
They
them.
don't. Interesting.
Aw.
I would imagine a deep fryer would be hard to come by at the bottom of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
There's got to be a VFW hall somewhere near an ocean, right?
Maybe they can use one of the thermal vents to heat the
For
oil.
sure.
And since oil and water don't mix, they could probably jerry rig something.
So mermaids?
So
Mermaid.
mermaid. So anyway, we've kind of mentioned this, like divergence from the sirens, but they are oftentimes I think people just kind of use them interchangeably. So has everybody seen the TikTok dudes videos?
The one you sent the other day?
That was the one that Tressa sent. And
much.
I've seen some on TikTok.
Okay.
I don't know the specific guy, but I remember going down a rabbit hole of TikTok mermaid videos for a while, but that was a while ago.
I'm anti-TikTok, so I've not seen anything.
Oh, you're missing out.
Same.
Good times.
I will watch things people send me. I do not have the app.
Okay.
I
Missing
only have
out.
the stupid banner.
I will send some in the Discord, but these videos are very creepy. He's a deep sea fisherman on a very large fishing boat, and he started to notice things following him and following the boat in the wakes, and he started hearing sort of like these disembodied voices that are higher and sort of melodic.
And they started like throwing fish on the boat, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So-
And he's had exchanges with these creatures, and he's caught brief
Real question.
flashes of them.
Real question here.
Yeah.
If this is real, and if this man is saying that his experiences are real, why would you go through a platform like TikTok where your videos are like 6 or 10 seconds or whatever bullshit and not just record actual cell phone video?
They're
And then,
10 minutes, and because everyone is on TikTok, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And because you can make money off of that, and because everyone is on TikTok except for you and James. That's why.
I don't know. If I was actually having a real experience, I would just record straight raw
He most
film.
likely
Go
has a
right to
YouTube
the
as well.
news.
Most TikTokers have a YouTube
Okay,
and
there
a
we
TikTok,
go.
and they like
I'd
put
be
their long
going-
super long ones on YouTube, and then put the bonus episodes, like the short concentrated ones, on TikTok, because you can go for 10 minutes.
So, like, I didn't know that you can get paid as a TikToker. So just by the sheer fact that there's an incentive, a monetary incentive, makes me think that some of that may be fake. Just saying.
Well, yes, there is a monetary, but we're also taking out of consideration the fact that these commercial fishermen are away from home huge long periods of time, right? And
Wait, real quick. Real quick.
Yeah.
TikTok payments are like $5 a week. It's not like you're getting paid. It's like it's an incentive to make more. It's nothing. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
no, that's okay. And it would be, for, I don't know, notoriety, or to talk to people, or to bond with people, or
That makes more sense
whatever.
to me.
There's fame, famous.
I would
people
also
become
say
famous.
the age of the person doing the filming is probably in there as well. Because like if they're on the younger side, they're gonna be like, I'm going to put this on the TikTok.
He's like early 20s, right?
There you go. They live their life on
very young.
TikTok.
He's very young. And,
Yeah.
like the commercial fisherman guys, like they're a special breed of their own. So
They're on like what,
who knows?
4 months straight, and then they're home for it's insane. My wife is obsessed with Deadliest Catch.
Yeah,
by
this
the way.
isn't like cruise sort of weather or ocean that they're in. They're in nasty
Bering Strait.
seas, in cold, and people die on a regular basis. Usually their parents were fishermen. Like it's, so who knows? Maybe that's a thing that they don't want news. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, he releases these videos, and they're really good. They're, you can't say that they're 100% real, but you also can't say that they're 100% fake. They sound really good. There's, of course, all this controversy around it. And it's just one of those things that it just looks so cool. And it's just such an interesting thing to watch. Right. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, did we talk about that article that was like, if mermaids were real, this is what they would like?
Yes, and that's what we're coming up to right now, James.
Yes.
Yeah,
Killing it for these segues.
they do look. There's some very clear fakes and things out there, right? This guy's little clips and little videos look very real in the way that these things sort of move around in the water. Because this kind of leads into my own personal belief. I kind of believe that something like that is down there, right? But there's no way that it looks like our typical or ideal fairy tale version of what a mermaid looks like, because it just
Ariel is not Ariel's not real.
So yeah, Doug would like to chime in the chat and say that mermaids would look like Ariel.
Doug.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, Doug. We're going to talk about the other mermaids and not the pretty ones. So the pretty ones live in the Caribbean, and They're perfectly suited to that area, and they're beautiful. You look for them when you go visit. We're going to talk about the other ones.
The ones that are a little scaly, a little
Yeah.
spiny.
Little
They look
That's
like
the thing. When you
fish.
mentioned the Japanese one that had the spines and everything, I'm like, that I can get behind that. Like
Right.
at like a drop of a hat. Sure. Yes, you have me.
Yeah. So I came across this phrase that I really, really liked, and I didn't get too far into it. I really want to find it here. It was, I have a note someplace. But it was a different kind of evolution. So like this theory that it was like some of us at that cusp area went onto land, and then some of us went to the ocean, and then developed from there.
Mhm.
So some ocean facts, and this is some of my personal beliefs, not only in some sort of underwater creature that is very, very much like a mermaid, or what we would have thought of as a mermaid, but also megalodon. I'm just going to throw that in there too.
I think you could pop Loch Ness in there too. You
Yeah,
know,
we're
you
just
know
gonna
my
throw
thoughts
them
on
all
that.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, James.
Let's get Nessie.
Yeah,
involved.
popping and locking Loch Ness. Let's do it.
Popping and locking. All of Scotland just groaned.
Suck it.
All right. So, oceans make up this vast area, right? And we've explored exactly 5 to 10% of the ocean. 80% of something that covers 70% of the world has not been mapped out and not been explored, like at all. It reaches astronomical depths.
I know it's cliche, and I'm sure everyone's heard it a million times from me, but we know more about space than we do about our own oceans.
Yes.
Very true.
Yes, we do. There have been more people who have gone to space than there have been people to the bottom of the ocean. There have been two people have gone to the bottom of the ocean.
So wild.
That's it.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is. And that is inside the Mariana Trench. There was it was called the Challenger something that went down, and 2 people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. We find things and rediscover things that live in the ocean all the time, constantly. So one of my favorite ones to talk about, obviously, is the coelacanth, which is a plated fish, very large, but it was thought to go extinct about 60 million years ago. And I think it was 1938, somebody was down, they lived in Africa, off the coast of Africa, and some explorer was down and saw this fish, recognized what it was, and said, "Oh my God, this thing's extinct. Where did you find it?" And these guys were like, "We eat it all the time. It's like, it's right over there. Do you know?"
Went to Louis' Fish Shack.
I mean,
We're all Catholics.
A little bit of
Friday night. That's what we do.
Tar and dill and
that's what we do. And that's one of my favorite ones. And I'm a big shark person. I love sharks, right? The most recent shark that we've discovered, we just discovered a shark. It was like in the late 2010s and in 2023.
This is the frilled shark.
This is the ghost shark.
oh, I did see the ghost shark.
Ghost
Yeah.
shark.
Finally, I saw something that you're talking about.
Yes, the ghost shark.
Finally.
It's really cool. It's got like white eyeballs.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of this beast. Hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, the frilled shark was crazy. Have you ever, I forget what it's called. There is some creature that has only ever been caught on camera like once or twice, but it like is this weird organism that just like grows and it adds to itself. But when it adds like modules. So like it'll add one that can like propel, and then it'll add on one that can help with like like breathing.
Sounds fake. Is he on TikTok?
No, this was pre-TikTok. This was like, I forget what it was called, but it's like a weird kind of jellyfish like thing, but it's this weird trailing thing that kind of just like floats, but it's
All
like
right.
this weird
I
segmented
put
thing.
the ghost shark on the stream. If you're watching the stream, you can see the ghost shark. But now I'm
Yeah,
gonna take it
ghost
down.
shark is awesome.
All right.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that was, discovered. Greenland shark. That's a huge shark, a massive shark. It wasn't,
How old does it get? How old does it get, Jenny? How old does it get?
It gets to be like 300 years old.
No, no,
500?
like almost 500.
Yes, you're right. 500 years old, this shark.
Yeah.
500 years old. It's insane. We first found it in 1932 and then didn't see it again until like 1950 something. Like that's nuts. There's so much stuff. The ghost shark, like the goblin shark, that's a ridiculous one. That's a deep shark
I've seen
that
the
looks like an
goblin
ant.
That one sucks.
That one's crazy. So it's just a huge amount of area. And I bring this up because if we have these sirens / mermaids, which I very much think we do, there's any number of places that these things could be. And if they are intelligent, then they have no problem hiding. There is no problem for them
So
to hide
weird.
anywhere. And I finally found the term that I was actually looking for. Excuse me while I rustle my papers because I'm old and I take real notes. The aquatic ape theory.
Oh,
That's a cool theory.
That's cool as hell.
Again, it's where we broke off. Some of us went and hung out on land, and then the rest of us just kind of went and developed into these sort of siren mer creatures.
I would like to tell James. I know that you wanted to put in the chat here where you went, but just so you know, that goes up on the stream. The best place to tell us secret information is the chat, because now everybody knows you're going for a tinkle. Just letting you know.
So wait.
Talked about too much water.
What? So half of us went and had a luxurious like swimming lifestyle for eternity, and the rest of us got fucking jobs and pollution and bullshit. That's great.
I
That's
know.
great for us.
I know. We were not the more intelligent
Nope.
of the two species, is what I'm thinking. So James had sent out this article as soon as we chose this topic about the evolutionary idea of mermaids and if it was something that could actually be. And I believe that the title of the article was something like scientists say mermaids were really hairy.
Something like that, yeah.
It was something very, very strange like that. And, the article was pretty good, but that led me into a bunch of other ones. The most memorable thing I think about that article was it was written by a Dr. Scales.
I get it. I get a joke.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It was written by Dr. Elizabeth Scales.
He's like, ugh,
Amazing.
I have no choice. This is my line of work now.
Here we go.
It was written in the stars.
I like that article because it led me to a bunch of other articles about what something would look like.
I
And
love shit like that.
yeah.
Wait, can I ask what the theory is behind hairy mermaids? Because there's not a lot of hairy aquamarine.
I think it was in terms of like sea lions and like seals going down that route of like
right. They got like whiskers, but they're not
Walrus,
freaking hairy, right?
they are sea lions.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got fur.
I retract my statement.
So, but that is a good question because that is based on the supposition that a mermaid looks like a half woman or man, and then half fish. So it's kind of taking it like, what if we put like stitched up like a human upper half and like put it into the ocean?
He's taking the Columbus theory.
Yeah, he's taking the Columbus theory.
How can I fuck this?
So, which is true. Any mammal that it lives in the ocean most of the time, unless they're primarily in warm waters like the Caribbean, is going to need to have blubber. And even those mammals have some degree of either hair or blubber. So to keep them warm, because obviously warm-blooded, there would also have to be some sort of raised nostrils or blowhole. Because just having a face like this, like, is not conducive to like hanging out in the water all the time.
It's like you gotta go up to the surface.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah. So that would be another thing. And the way they looked at the way a mermaid's tail is typically illustrated, and then the way that a fish's tail is actually works, the mechanism of it,
Mhm.
and it's super not what is it, hydrodynamic?
yeah, I actually pulled the article. Yeah, the classic teardrop shape of a fish is the most hydrodynamic.
Right. And so the way that the tail is supposed to move is sort of up and down.
Good.
And, you know, this is the way to go with it. Now,
Aren't dolphins up and down though?
yes, and that's exactly what I was about to say, was that a lot of the mammals do move their tail up and down, but they have more of that sort of aerodynamic shape instead of just like arms akimbo hanging out, just sort of creating drag in the
Stupid
water.
arms.
But
Yeah,
that it would be cumbersome and not very agile, which are two things that you don't want to have in the ocean.
Yeah, I think they said something like you can get away with the tail, but your arms have to be different. Like you can't have both. It's like
because your arms. I mean, that's one of the things that we do learn about, like in scuba too, is like your arms are pretty useless when it comes to actually swimming or actually moving. You just kind of keep those things real close to you, because they're just flying all over the place down there. What are you gonna do? I mean,
couldn't they just learn, like through evolution, where to position their arms?
But
so
that
it wouldn't be.
But that would
like,
lead to then adaptations as
Right.
far as like they wouldn't look necessarily the
Right.
same. Because like if you're keeping your arms this way, like
but only when they're swimming. Like I swing my hands when I'm walking, but I don't do it all the time. I don't know if that's
But a
safe.
mermaid would typically swim like 90% of their way.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, you don't hang out at like the water cooler at your break time at your shitty job. Like, come on.
Just constantly doing this. I mean, they would have to have very well-defined like pec muscles because of all the pushing up on rocks they would be doing, right?
gotta-
Why? No, they just use your tail.
They're not little mermaiding all the time, like when they want to go above land.
Why
No?
would they do that? Why wouldn't they just like hang out like vertical underwater, just like hanging out, arms to the side?
We got a comment that says, realistically, no one can say whose depiction is correct, being as no one has proven evidence or photography of one.
Bum, bum, bum. Air horn.
Yeah. Obviously, but evolutionarily speaking, these things make the most sense.
Checkmate.
Yeah. So, and again, like the craziest thing the craziest things continue to be recognized and to be found within the ocean. This particular article that we read talked a lot about the pressure per square inch that you get into. So every 33 feet underwater is an atmospheric pressure. So that means that at sea level, a balloon full of oxygen is going to be like this. Well, you take it down 33 feet, it's going to half. And then it's going to continue to half and half and half. So everything gets pressurized down. And one of the arguments that's like, oh, these things couldn't be real is based on that pressure, that the body couldn't sustain such pressure. But if it were a mermaid and it had gotten adapt to living in the sea, I mean, mammals can adapt down to the longest and deepest dive was almost 2 miles. And that was by a whale, recorded at 2 hours and 17 minutes. One of them was found later on to be able to hold their breath for almost 4 hours and dive to incredible depths. So it's not really an argument against.
There is like, I know it's not the same level of depth, but there is a group of people who live somewhere warm watered that do a lot of fishing, but they've just like naturally their like sort of community have developed like increased lung capacities, and they can like hold their breath for extended amounts of time and like walk on the ocean floor to fish.
Yeah. Yeah, the last trip that I was on, we were down maybe, I don't know, 40 to 60 feet. And one of the guides who was remaining on the boat is a free diver, and he's been training and training and training. He jumps in, and you turn around, you've got the oxygen, you're down pretty deep, and he's just waving at you like nothing but fins. You know, so you can adapt to a lot of different things.
We've got Nick Hansen saying, so mermaids aren't fat, they're just big boned.
I have
They're
really no
whales.
response to that. I have no
We would like to introduce a segment called Theoretical Blubber.
I do like the idea of an entire segment dedicated to just trying to science anything that pops up on here. Like, all
I
right,
mean, we kinda
Mothman,
do.
let's do it. All right.
You've got Rev Nelly in the chat that's trying to bait us into our like just weird disagreements.
Some anti-evolution
Yeah.
shit. Hey, you know what? We did have that this discussion about Mothman, and we've decided he's a space Dracula. That's how the science plays out. That's what we do here.
That's called science.
Yes.
The scientific
The
method.
science
We
all
solved
over
it.
Thank you.
boom, boom, boom. And wait, where is Doug seeing pretty? You know what? I can't look at. I can't look at the.
Yeah,
logo.
keep going.
Don't
I
encourage
can't.
Doug.
I can't
Don't
do it.
encourage him.
I can't do it at all.
Doug's not to be encouraged, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we've discovered so many things in the ocean. I have zero doubt that there are some sort of sightings. One of my big things of getting me to believe in any sort of cryptid, any sort of creature whatsoever, is if there's so many different reports from ancient peoples. You know, so like if the Inuit in Alaska have tales, and then there's also Blackbeards seeing these things, and then, you know, you go back to Columbus, and they're all in different locations, and there's a lot of similarities. So
Not all. Never mind.
Not all mermaid sightings are created equal. Is what you.
I'm not going to say it again.
yeah, I probably shouldn't have just brought up Columbus again, because
I know. I was going to try, but I'm done. I'm done.
pretty sure he just enjoyed having sex with various creatures.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
He was
Like, look, it's one of those things. Being a bloodthirsty colonist, like colonizer, like, okay, I got that. Also, fucking fish.
I'm
Now
sure
we're
it was
just-
way more than just fish, baby.
Now
He was
listen,
fucking
now-
everything.
Yeah. Now,
Mm.
technically, he wasn't. You know, with
It was
fish.
still a mammal.
It was still a mammal. So calm it down over there.
slightly
the lines in
random
between-
side
Between
thing.
animal and human, it's just blurring the lines. He's like, well, I gotta figure it out, guys.
Have any of you guys watched the show The OA on Netflix?
No.
Okay, really weird show. Got canceled after the second season. But when I like talk to people about it, I'm like, all right, the first season's about how interpretive dance saves the world. The second season involves the main character telepathically linking with an octopus. It's weird.
If this doesn't have anything to do with mermaids, I'm
She's just-
fine.
Who knows? Who knows at this point?
Okay.
It could very well involve mermaids at some point.
That means continue, Jenny.
Jenny is just gonna snap, James.
Yeah.
She's just gonna go post.
Listen, I am here for this. This is literally one of my favorites.
So I have never seen anything in the ocean that has been extraordinarily. I've not discovered anything new or had any sort of paranormal experience in the ocean, but I can tell you as soon as you get under the water, you know you're not supposed to be there. It's a whole different world. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. I will do it for the rest of my life. But it's not someplace that belongs to us by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm on board. I'm on board with these creatures. Not, of course, looking like the Disney princess version, you know, but for sure looking very similar to humans. Isn't there? And I don't remember what it is at all either. There's a trick that the human brain plays on you where
Pareidolia.
Yeah, where you see human faces or faces in anything that looks similar.
Yeah.
No
like
doubt
the pattern
that
recognition, right?
Yeah. And there's so many things, especially if this thing is like some sort of predator or trying to hide. You know,
That's Uncanny Valley. That's two different things. That's like people get so weirded out by it, like, oh, what existed in early man's whatever, because we're afraid of Uncanny Valley. It's like a whatever. There were many subspecies of Homo sapiens. Like,
yes,
that's it.
Yes,
it's not scary. It's not alien. It's not cryptid. It's just
right
subspecies. That's it.
So if these things were predators, you know, the ocean is filled with just straight up tricksters, right? So many things.
Anglerfish and
anglerfish, the mimic octopus.
Dude, what's with the octopi? They all are fucking crazy. Is it the curtain octopus? Is that one that just looks
yes,
the vampire
shape? The vampire octopus, yes, absolutely. So the mimic octopus is it's amazing. It's amazing to watch. It will change into anything, whatever. You know, there's so many things that will transform to look into other things in the ocean. That it's a predator. Why wouldn't it have some sort of like human-like disguise?
100%.
Yeah. So I'm on board. I'm on board with it being real.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it.
As you said, there's far more unexplored things in the ocean. Like, who's to say?
I think, Jenny, if any one of us here is going to see something in the ocean, it's going to be you. Because Tressa and James are not swimming in anything that's not a pool, and I have thalassophobia. So, like, I'm scared of the ocean specifically at night, or if it's just too dark. So, like, if I go, like, 5 feet underwater, it's also very dark, so I'm out. I'm outie 5,000.
I also have bad sinuses, and it hurts.
That's it's ouchies for James.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll do it, but I'll hate it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Do you take pictures when you're down there? Do you like take underwater photography?
No, I will next time. The next trip is scheduled for February. So by that point, I'll have some sort of like GoPro or something that can hit that kind of depth.
Where are you going?
Oh, yeah. Where are you going?
I'm going back to Belize. It's my favorite place in the whole wide world. So
nice.
Anyone listening, if you donate to the Late Night Legends Patreon or just send us a donation to our PayPal, we'll send that specifically just to Jenny's Belize fund for her GoPro.
Perfect. Wonderful. And I will take so many videos of whatever weird stuff I find.
She'll take weird videos for you. Just for, put them on TikTok.
Also, like, you should probably double that donation, because I'm going to go with her, and I don't have a way to pay for that. So.
Yeah, we'll also contribute 50% of the funds that we won't raise to Tressa's airfare as well. Everybody.
Thank you.
And we will try to get Tressa into the ocean.
No, okay, maybe.
Mike and I can just be on the shore with hammocks.
James and I will be on the shore with hammocks eating fried fish that no longer taste like anything from the sea.
In Hawaiian shirts,
yes.
Even though you're in Belize. Yes.
I'm down for this. This sounds like a good time.
All right, field trip. We're doing it. Sorry, Jenny.
February, guys. No, I'd be thrilled. I would be thrilled to have an entire crew of people go with me, because I love that country and that island so much. I want everyone I know to be there.
What is like the craziest place you've dived? Like, not necessarily, like, what is like...
It's probably just the depth. because it's all just small dive sites around Belize. But you can go, well, you can go, you're not supposed to go down to like 90 feet. And sometimes there's little swim throughs and whatnot.
So what happened the first time you went past 90 feet? Please tell us.
The first time I went past 90 feet, I got scared because there's a certain level at which you need to have a different oxygen mix in your tanks. Otherwise, you can suffer from something called nitrogen narcosis, which means that you start to see things. You can't really determine which way is up. Yeah. So I got right back up to where it was supposed to be.
I'm that little octopus going, nope.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched a TikTok about a guy who was like very experienced, and he died trying to get a corpse that had been there for a few years and nobody could find. And as he was trying to untangle it, he got tangled and he ended up dying there because of that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's not fun.
You have to be insanely smart about it. It's not something that I would ever mess around with by any stretch. Yeah.
More power to you. That's like, look, that's one of those things where I wish I could get my mind around it and do it, but I don't know.
It was just so much of an easier choice. Like, I've been skydiving, and that I will literally never do again.
Why? It seems really fun.
Shut up.
You just hurl
seriously.
yourself out of a plane.
Yeah.
I think I'd like
I
it.
can get behind hang gliding, like a gentle flight. I can
float
Like a
down.
gentle
Yeah.
falling to your death,
Yeah.
not like a sudden plunge to your
sudden
death.
drops. No, hard pass.
Well, in the first little bit, you're not really 100% sure that you're falling because you're so far up, you don't really see the ground.
We've got a comment here, Jeni. I appreciate Jenny's passion and research, but I am a skeptic that wants to be proven wrong. Good work, though, Jeni.
All right, Jeni, that means she's got to go
Thank you.
diving more.
Remember where
Get
that
them
was.
mermaid photos.
Get them photos. Put it on TikTok.
Go visit that person in person.
I will.
And
Who is that? Who is that person?
That's
if
Doug.
you need a heavy, I'm right here.
That's Doug. Punch him in the face.
Did you hear that? That was amazing.
That was good. I like it. Doug, we'll see you at the bike racks.
Doug,
3 o'clock.
Doug, you son of a bitch. Doug went from his personal Facebook where it says his name over to his Twitch where it's like his handle. He thinks we don't know. He thinks he pulled a fast one on
Okay.
all of
We
us.
see how it is.
Yeah, we know
We
it's
see
you,
it.
Doug.
We know who you are, Doug.
But I appreciate the compliment, Doug. Appreciate the compliment that even though you don't believe me, it was still a good presentation.
I'm still skeptical as well. I'm going to be full.
You're always skeptical.
Yeah,
forthcoming.
for
I
sure.
will-
Shut up.
In anything.
When it comes to the ocean, I will very confidently say I know nothing and anything is possible. Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
anyone saying that they know what's in the ocean.
I'm willing to say that under a lot of different circumstances, people will perceive what's not there and really believe that that's what they're seeing. So in their minds, like, yes, they're being 100% truthful. I've seen this. I've experienced this. I'll be willing to say, okay, that. But just in general about a lot of the things we talk about, I just am the non.
Is this about Columbus? Are you trying to excuse Columbus's
Yeah. Are
you a
behavior? Is that what
Columbus
you're doing?
apologist?
I'm a Columbologist.
I think he is.
I'm pro Columbus, guys. Now you know.
Not so much the
that is
colonizing, but the sea
Talk
captain.
about the
Manatee
manatees.
hanging.
Yeah.
Just the manatee love, guys. Okay, no,
We get it. We get it, Frank.
just gonna edit all of this out.
Understandable. They're very sweet creatures.
What are you saying, Jeni?
I'm just saying.
I might be part
Where's
manatee
Cuddle
for all
Partner?
I don't know. I look like a.
Oh, what have we become?
I mean, it's my fault. I'm sorry, but I'm not at all.
Doug says
No.
I want to be where the people are, and I think we should start.
Start wrapping
Like,
it
I
up.
don't want
Why?
to
Nope.
be where the people are.
No, neither do I. Hence
The
my
worst.
love of the ocean. I do not want to be where the people are
The worst.
at all. I would like to be in
Well,
the
people
ocean.
are terrible.
That's all
And
he
not-
said. He's like,
not by
I
the
just want to be
peoples.
with the people.
Mm-mm.
Fish
Why?
are friends, not
Fuck off,
food.
Doug. Fuck off, Doug.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Go back to Super Balls. All right. Should we play like the closing music and all that stuff? You wanna do that, Jeni? I'll let you make the call on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
I'm just about out of reported facts and whatnot. Reported facts, reported stories, or facts. Who knows? I don't know. My mind's open.
Doug says, I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. Shut up, Doug.
Okay.
It's just
We don't need to read anymore.
He's not actually
like
on the
turn that
show right
off.
now. You
I'm
don't
just-
need to read it.
I'm closing
Yeah.
the
is there like a
chat.
little switch we can just like
I was just reading. I was hoping that we had Nick Hansen that was going to say something else, but no, it's just Doug. So I'll just ignore.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
Doug.
Here's the switch. It's right here. Bloop. Doug's now been muted.
Oh, Nick Hansen does say thank you for entertaining me this evening. Thank you, Nick Hansen, for being
And-
with us tonight.
Nick Hansen is a delightful human. Also met him at the ParaCon.
Kara
So-
wanted to point out that Nick Hansen is her door buddy, and then she also wanted to point out that I am not her door buddy. She needed to be very specific and tell me that I am not her door buddy, like Nick Hansen is.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know
Oh,
what that
I know. I know exactly. They walked in at the same time. They did to the conference.
Yeah,
they walked
so-
in at the
so
same
just
time.
so we're-
She's a very nice person.
So we're just in the understanding none of us are Kara's door buddy, but Nick Hansen is.
the
I
place of
was
honor.
right outside the building. So anyway,
All right.
yeah. So that is a good reason to come out and see us at the Oddities Expo because
So you can be our door buddies.
You could be
yes,
our door buddies.
because we
Win that
love
honey ham
meeting.
gift certificate.
We love meeting our listeners. It's amazing. I now know who Nick is, and I have enjoyed his contribution even more to tonight's podcast.
Delightful.
Yeah. But that's not my final thought.
Okay, let's go around the room. James, Tressa, do one of y'all want to do your final thought?
I want to do one. Final thought. I was pretty skeptical, but Jeni pulled it out. Jenny's got all the facts. Jenny's got all the research, and she has convinced me that I'm not as skeptical anymore. It wasn't just always sea cows. Columbus.
I think my final thought is just like really cool that Jenny does diving. Like that's like
Yeah, right?
I'm just
Yeah,
like
that's
that's my
impressive.
takeaway here.
It's impressive.
Learn a new fun fact about Jenny.
Jenny, what's your final thought?
I have all kinds of travel stories that I will tell you all about if you will make me feel as good as you guys made me feel with those final thoughts. No, I'm very much into it, always have been, but I am excited about doing the research on this. And I really, really enjoy that we could have a discussion about what it might be like and take some science into it too. That's always fun.
I love that aspect.
Yeah.
Because I'm on board and I'm going to believe stuff just because I think it's better in life if you just kind of believe stuff. But
Way more fun.
Yeah, I do like to have some scientific backing. So it's my final thought.
All right, guys. I'll close it up. I didn't actually mute Doug, but he said great work, Jenny. He actually says don't buy into his baiting. He said that we all did a great job. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks. Doug.
My final thought is really great stuff to think about. I personally am skeptical, but I do love hearing about it. I really want to believe. That's me in a nutshell. I want to believe that whole thing. Jenny knows this very well.
I do.
So with that, thank you all for joining us tonight. Nick Hansen, thanks for coming on. Next week, Valiant Thor with James. It's going to be a fun night. Kara's coming back. Ashley's coming back, I believe. Let me see who's got the night off next week. Who's got the night off next week? Well, nobody has the night off next week. It looks like we're gonna
Yay,
have a
we're all
full
here.
house next
Full
week.
house.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. So we'll see you all next week for Valiant Thor. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. And we will publish this out on Thursday morning for your commute, whether that's Thursday or Friday. And we will see y'all next week. Thank you so much. We love y'all. Take care of yourselves. Say hi to your mom. And stay wary of the water, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.